Hello everyone, welcome here. Today, we are here in old school RuneScape, right where I left off the last time I was playing. Namely, standing on the dock at Temperos. Oh, that is probably what I should continue doing, because I need stuff from here. But also I hate Temperos. Well, I don't hate Temperos. It's... I don't know. There's many games I like much better. However, I need to get Temperos done so I can stop doing Temperos. Anyway. Which means we should probably go ahead and do that. Also, I just don't feel like doing what's his face? The Sons of the Father boss, which is the other thing I should be doing. Let's see, where's the Temperos world? It's somewhere down here below all the Gridmaster stuff, I thought. There it is. 422. So I need to get like 3,000 something of these spirit flakes here, including the ones I have here. And then I need to get a Tome of Water is the other big thing I want. And if I can get a Dragon Harpoon, that would be amazing. Which I think Cream has a Dragon Harpoon, but it's not in the group storage, so I can't steal it from him. Unfortunate. I could probably go bother him and ask him to add it in, but it's not worth it. Alright. Let's reset our EXP tracker and let's go. So I'm just doing masses because I'm lazy and don't feel like doing the slightly more attention required solo methods. So Temperos is a fishing minigame. You fish harpoon fish, you optionally cook them, you put them in these crates beside the cannon. The cannon shoot them at Temperos here, and that reduces his energy. And then once his energy hits 0, you go harpoon in these pools on either end of these docks, and that damages him. And once he's damaged to 0 health, you win. It's more complicated than that, of course, but that's the basics. I think the first time I streamed Old School, I was doing Temperos. I remember correctly, I was going to like 65 or something for Karen Bonds. I wish I could stop at 65, but we're probably going well beyond that. Okay, so periodically this is one of the things that happens. A big wave appears. If it hits you, you lose all your stuff. Or not all your stuff, but some portion of your stuff. Not terribly concerned about that. You just make sure it doesn't hit you and problem solved. The other thing that happens is these clouds that move around. Sometimes they'll park over an area and start to swell up. Then lightning will hit that area and they'll spawn fire. Like this right here is an indicator that one's going to spawn here. If you're standing there when the fire lights, like that poor sucker right there, you lose a bunch of your stuff. Same as if a wave would hit you. Although, if you continue standing there, you continue losing stuff. So it can be a pretty big deal. Anyway. So there's 3 bars here. There's energy, essence, which is his health, and storm intensity, which is If that reaches 100%, we lose. So basically we have to down Temperos before storm intensity reaches 100%. Which on Mass Worlds is pretty much guaranteed. The lower his energy is, the less he'll do special attacks like the wave and the fire. It's like the solo method has you put in just enough fish to get him down to 10% energy. And then you go fish and whatever until the storm intensity is almost maxed out. And then you go put the last fish in and down him, which resets the storm intensity. And playing chicken with the storm cloud because I want to stay there at the double. The green fishing spots are double ones. They provide more fish per catch, or they have a chance to anyway. And more fish per catch is a good thing. Unsurprisingly. So I've actually been on Mass Worlds where Temperos was killed on his first down, which is actually quite difficult. It requires pretty much everyone there to have reasonable fishing levels and be fishing and get reasonable luck rolls on damage. This case where there's like 12% left is much more common. Okay. Looks like people aren't taking care of the fires. You can put those fires out for points. Matter of fact, one of the solo methods that gives you a ton of points is based on deliberately letting a whole bunch of the island catch fire and then running around and putting it all out for massive points. We're not doing that. I'll have to do some solo Temperos eventually. He's got... technically this guy's a boss, even though there's no way to take damage here. So... okay, we better go. Not gonna run through this, that would be a bad idea. We might have enough time left to dump our inventory. You don't get as many points for putting in raw fish, but you get about the same amount of fishing XP. So like, I'm going to maximize points if I can because I want points. But I will happily turn in raw fish for XP. Okay, we're going to get all our fish in, no problem. And we'll have a little bit of extra time to go refill our buckets. It's really not worth trying to catch fish when it's this close to downing, because the amount of XP and points you get from catching a fish is very low compared to the amount you get for loading a cannon. So unless we had time to go down and get 2 or 3 fish and come back and load them at least, it's really not worth trying. Much better to be waiting by the end of the dock so we can get as many points from this part as we can. Alright. So that got 5 reward permits, that's pretty good. For Mass Worlds anyway. If I could get 5 permits every single time, that'd be amazing. Unfortunately, you're more likely to get like 3. So the technique I'm using here attempts to maximize the amount of time that we're fishing from a double fishing spot. So we fish about 7 fish out of the initial fishing spots. And then we go cook them. These people here are doing the same thing, obviously. And then about the time we finish cooking these, a double fishing spot should spawn. See right there. And we go fish from that until it's gone. And then we go back and cook more. And when another one pops up, we go fish from that too. Assuming we didn't get a full inventory here, which is highly unlikely. We'd have to get insanely lucky to get a whole inventory load from this. Nope. Close, but nope. Oh yeah, and right about the time that that expires, the first wave will arrive. Sometimes you can get 1 fish cooked before it arrives, but usually you can't. It's never a waste of time to try to run. Okay, let's get this double spot. Get our inventory full. Okay, now we go cook. We keep cooking till our inventory is fully cooked, and then we go dump it. It'd be really awesome if the cooking gauntlets made you cook faster, because I would totally bring them along if they did. Okay. So we're at 70-something% about the time we finish cooking. That's pretty normal. Sometime while we're loading, we'll have a second wave. Namely here. Wait until it's almost too late. That way you can maybe get another fish in. Playing chicken with the wave isn't necessarily a good idea, but it's not like there's anything else interesting to do here. Okay, as soon as the last one's loaded, we go fish some more. We have about 30% energy to go. So hopefully we get a decent amount of fish here. If we're lucky, we'll get about half an inventory full. Maybe a little more. Probably should cook these, but we're not going to have time to cook all of them anyway, so we'll just fish instead. Okay, as soon as Temperos goes down, we run over here to stab his ass. Stabby, stab, stab. We actually got really close to filling up on fish there. That's really good. We'll probably get a full inventory and part of them cooked this time. Most of the time you get like a full inventory and none of them cooked, or at least that's how I find it. Maybe my slowly growing fishing level is finally starting to pay off. Okay. Let's go back to fish. Oh, hell yeah, green right there. So you only have a chance to catch 2 from a green spot. Unfortunately. If it was guaranteed, it'd be amazing. You can still make it to the totem pole if it's about half, if the indicator's about half full. So it's usually worth, if you see it right away, just waiting for it to reach half full or just about half full, depending how far away you are from it. Erring slightly on the side of caution is never a bad thing. Because if you get hit by the wave and lose stuff, well, you lose a lot of points you would have otherwise had, and any gains you might have gotten from waiting are gone. And we probably should have went up here a little earlier, because I don't think we're going to be able to get all the fish in before Temperos goes down now. Oh well. We'll probably be fine, actually. I really wish people wouldn't do this. There's 2 cannons in each ship. You should, in mass worlds, only ever fill 1 cannon at a time. Per side. Never, never, never fill both. Because all you're doing is you're making the round go faster. And rounds go fast enough. Much better for everyone involved if you go slower. We got another 5 points. Hell yeah. If we keep getting 5-point games, I'm going to be very happy. I am very much in favor of multiple 5-point games. So it keeps telling me I've failed Y cook. That's a combat achievement for getting... Is it 10k points or is it 8k points? I don't remember. We're getting like 5k points. There's no way we're ever getting Y cook in a mass world. We'll have to solo it. You can get it if you're doing like duo or trio or something like small teams. But that requires coordination, which, yeah, right. Requires people to actually play a little bit efficiently. You're not getting that in a mass world. So the reason we catch a certain number of fish and then go cook and then go back to catch, so we're minimizing the amount of time that we're catching from a single standard spot. And maximizing the amount of time we're catching from the double. Every time there's a wave, there's a chance that this totem pole or that mast will break. Actually, what am I doing? I don't want to fish more. I want to go cook. Anyway, so if they break, if you have a hammer in your inventory, you can repair them. And then you get a little bit of construction XP. It's not terribly important to worry about it in mass worlds because people will be there to repair it. But free construction XP for the cost of equipping the Imcando hammer, I'll do that very happily. We're a little behind on cooking. We should be up on deck loading stuff into the cannon by this time. Oh well. We're not getting 5 points this game, but... Okay. I'm probably going to stay up here and continue loading the cannon if my inventory is not empty when Temperos goes down. Because it's worth more points for me to have a empty inventory ready to fill than it is to stab his ass. Barely. Ideally, I get some of each in. Oh well. Let's go stab fish. Actually, we're not stabbing fish because we're barbarian fishing, which means we're just grabbing them out of the water with our bare hands. So for the second half of the game, I'm much more interested in just getting fish, any kind of fish, compared to bothering worrying about cooking them all. This is the compromise I settled on for permits versus XP. So we need to head up and start dumping fish before 45%, ideally. Preferably well before 45%. Hello, survey. Well, come here. Okay, inventory is full of raw fish. I'm not even gonna bother trying to cook them. We don't have time. Let's go dump them in. So when a cannon gets struck by lightning like that, that's when idiots like this guy go start loading the second cannon. You don't want to do that. You don't need to. However, they will never learn. Okay. Inventory's empty. Let's go stab Temperos. Looks like we're going to get about 3, maybe 4 permits. Four? Okay, nice. We have 14 permits piled up right now. I'm going to go... This is kind of dumb, but I'm going to go fish up my rewards now. I do that every time I get like between 10 and 15 somewhere, because I want to get certain rewards, and the earlier I get them, the better. But it is technically more efficient to wait to pull until I have higher fishing level, as far as what kind of fish I get out of it. However, I'm not terribly interested in getting better fish. I'm more interested in getting the uniques and these spirit flakes. Fish are a nice side bonus, which I will happily take, but that's not why we're here. If it was just fish, I would go do other fishing content. So this tells us how many seconds till the boat leaves and how many people are on the boat. I'd really rather wait until there's like 20 to 30 people on the boat before I get on board. Which means we're not leaving this time, I don't think. Yeah, no, we'll get it next time. Or maybe the next time. By waiting for more people, it's, I don't know. It does make the games go a little faster. Which isn't necessarily a good thing. Sometimes, depending on the people, it can make the game go a little slower, which can be a good thing. Go away, Flippa. Nobody likes you. Actually, there's some people who like them, because that minigame awards... Is it cut gems, or is it raw gems? I don't remember. It awards gems, anyway. Alright, it's worth going now. Let's refill our water buckets. I'm not sure why they put the water pump here on the boat, rather than on the dock somewhere. Okay. So it looks like Sailing is going to release in less than a month. I think it's the 19th it's releasing. Which is going to be very cool. Oh, I should be cooking. Oops. I am quite looking forward to that. It's part of the reason why I want to get Temperos ground out. Because I'd like to have the... oh, what do I call it? The Spirit Angler set. To wear for sailing. Because it looks pretty cool and appropriately nautical. Combine that with the shoulder parrot, which I have already. And you're all set to sail the 7 seas of Gielinor. Which I don't know how many seas Gielinor would have. But however many it has, we'd be ready to sail them. I'd like to grind out Spirit Angler on UIM, but it's not going to happen. It's already enough of a sacrifice to have the shoulder parrot. I can't waste inventory space on carrying an outfit around, no matter how cool it looks. Okay. 30% left to go fish before we have to go stab his ass. That's not terrible. So, if I remember correctly, reward rate for Temperos is every 1,000 points gets you 1 pull from the reward pool. And every partial progress to 1,000 gives you that % chance. So like if you have 1900 points, for example, like we do now, you would get 0 reward because you need at least 2000. Well, let's say you had 2900. Then you would have 2 guaranteed points and 90% chance at a third. I believe that's how it works. I'll have to look it up in the wiki to be sure. It's a good bit easier than, say, Wintertod, which is like 750 points after a certain initial count of points. Anyway. Come on, green fishing spot. Of course, it's way over there. And of course, the wave arrives the same time it does. Give me my free construction XP. Not even that much XP. At this level, it's like 200. Which, okay, whatever. That's like one piece of furniture maybe in Mahogany Homes. Now admittedly it's a lot cheaper than Mahogany Homes, but it's so much slower. Damn it, we lost a bunch of fish to that. Oh well. So not only do you lose fish to waves and fire, but you also can lose buckets and ropes, and harpoons and hammers if you have a basic harpoon or a basic hammer. Now if you have a special harpoon or hammer, like say if you're using a dragon harpoon or barbed tail harpoon, then you keep those. Anything that's not readily replaceable you can't lose. But anything that is readily replaceable in those crates back there, they will quite happily take away from you. Okay. So this minigame is just active enough that it requires your attention. And it's just AFK enough that it's easy to lose your attention. And if you daydream even a little, then you lose massive amounts of efficiency, and that's why I tend to get 3 and 4 points per game instead of 5 all the time. Well, that and some random variants, but... Looks like somebody has the Skotizo pat. So there's 2 skilling bosses in the game. There's Temperos and there's Wintertod. Temperos is completely safe. Nothing you do here can cause you to die, or even take damage. Winter Taunt, yeah, not so much. It's pretty easy to stay alive. But if you're really not paying attention, well, it can end badly. And since both of them are considered bosses, not minigames, they have combat achievements. Or combat tasks, as they call them. Everybody calls them CAs. Which means doing these bosses is definitely useful, even if you don't particularly care about any of the rewards, just to get the CAs. Assuming you want CAs, which I don't know why you wouldn't. If you get enough CA points, then you can unlock some actually pretty useful rewards. For example, the easy CAs double the amount of tokens you get at the Warriors Guild. So if you're doing a defender grind, it reduces the amount of time that you have to grind tokens by half. Medium CAs, one of the notable things they do is make it so you don't get prayer drained at borrows anymore. Which makes it just that little bit easier to do borrows without supplies. Which is pretty useful. Okay. I don't remember what all the rewards are. I have to look them up. Damn it, why did I run off during the middle of that? You know, screw it, I'm gonna fish. I'm gonna get more points this way probably anyway. That's cope. I won't. But I'll get at least as many as I would have otherwise if I cook them. Alright, let's cook what we've got and wait for a green. Speaking of which, right there it is. Okay. Now let's go cook. It's not worth catching the last one. So we get some points for cooking fish. And then we get more points for turning the cooked fish in. Speaking of which, we better go now. I'm going to wait for this to strike, because I don't want to lose a bunch of it. And because it's more points. I don't think we made it up here to get them all in. If people would stop putting them in the wrong damn box, then that might help, but cut that one a little close. Because right beside it, you can cut a little closer than normal. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get 4 points this time. Could have been a 5-point game, but oh well. Four points is pretty good. Or good enough anyway. Now. Another game, maybe 2, and then we'll go and pull rewards again. I'm really hoping for a Tome of Water, because then I won't have to borrow Crane's Tome to do magic training. I already got a fish barrel, which is going to be extremely useful later. Not here, unfortunately. I wouldn't mind getting a tackle box, but that's a luxury item. It's not that important. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Oh well. But the Tome of Water is really big. And then, of course, the Spirit Angler. Which, honestly, Spirit Angler is mostly cosmetic. It does have one special ability that the base Angler's outfit doesn't have. And that is, it acts as a rope for the purpose of playing this minigame. So I can save a little bit of inventory space. Which is kind of useful. The main thing is that if you're a dumbass and let yourself get struck by lightning or rolled over by a wave, you don't lose your rope. And therefore you don't have to go get another one. But for that you need the full Spirit Angler's outfit. Which currently I have the headband, but I don't have the other pieces. It takes 1,200 Spirit Flakes per piece. Means I think with the amount I have now, I probably need about 3,000, maybe a little less total, more. And I get about 100 every time I pull. Sometimes less. Usually less. But somewhere between 50 and 100 is roughly what I get. Not sure what the actual average would end up being. Which means I'm gonna be here for a while. Just gotta keep fishing. We're not gonna worry about cooking until we're... Okay, we have half an inventory of caught fish here. It's pretty good. So at 65 fishing, I'll be able to go catch carambons, which is a really good AFK fishing method. So I'll probably end up doing a bunch of that when I don't feel like doing temporos. Because I'd really like to get my fishing up to a level where I can catch shark. Like, just harpooning them is really slow, but also it's shark. You can AFK that super easy. It's perfect second monitor content because you just click and leave it for a couple minutes and you know a bunch of shark. Not quite that simple because the spot will move around occasionally, but... And it is super slow. Okay, this is probably going to be an easy 5-point game, if not more. But anyway, the reason I'm really interested in fishing shark is because they're relatively easy to acquire, high healing food. And I'd like to have a few hundred to 1,000 of them for my personal use. And if I can get enough to start supplying the whole group with shark, which honestly would probably require a much higher fishing level so that I could do minnows, then that would be a useful thing to do. We're going to get 2 almost completely full inventories of cooked fish this time, which is really good. Also, Temperos is 1% off, so we're probably not going to get any points from stabbing the pool at the end. Okay, it's probably going to be a 5-point game. There's a chance of it being a 4-point. Five points. Okay, let's go fish from the reward pool. We have 13 permits. It's good enough for my purposes. All right. So there's a pet you can get here, which is specific to this stuff. I don't really care about it. Not exactly a pet hunter. But I mean, if I get a pet, I'm taking it. Okay, we have 225 flakes so far from this pull. That's really good. 300. Okay, we take those. Actually, do I have... How close am I to being able to... Okay, we need another couple hundred flakes. Well, actually we need about 104 exactly to be able to go pretty up another piece of our angler set. So probably we'll get it next pull. Yeah, there's 16 players. It'll be like 20 by the time we leave. That'll be good enough. Okay. Double spot. I should probably try a solo. Just to see if I can get the last CAs done. So remember correctly, the method for a solo is you start off the same, well, for the cooking method anyway, you start off the same as you do for, like I'm doing here. Fish 7, go cook them, go catch the double. Then you catch until you have 17 fish. You go dump those 17 cooked fish. You come back, you fish 19 fish, I think, and you go dump those 19. Or, you catch 19 fish, you cook as many of them as you can. I think by that time, Temperos is downed, or about to get downed. And then you go turn in at least some of those 19 fish. Come back, catch more fish, go turn them in. Wait, what am I doing? I'm full up. I think it goes 17, 19, and then catch a full inventory full. Something like that. Because you need 18 fish when you're solo to down Temperos. So you don't want to down Temperos any faster than necessary. Now remember correctly, the last plausible moment that you can leave to come up here and put fish into the crate to not lose when there's only one fish remaining to put in is 93% remaining. Something like that. Accounting for most areas on the island. Well, 62 fishing. Can net monkfish. I don't know how much monkfish are actually worth, healing wise. They're not something I've ever actually used. Anyway. Honestly, I think the proper solution would actually be to catch 17, load them, come back down, catch 18, at least, wait till it's fairly high percentage, go load them, or go load one. Okay, actually this is second phase, let's just go fish more. Doesn't matter if it's double or not. But that's not what the wiki said to do when I was looking at it last time, so I have to analyze exactly why the wiki wants you to do what it wants you to do to figure out why it's efficient. Okay, I think ideally you'd want the second phase to be downed, or almost downed, with just a sliver left. And then you want to do 40% of his health first time he goes down, 40% the second time, and that leaves you plenty of time for wearing out columns. Things to go wrong during the final. And with only needing one fish to down him one more time, that would mean that you would have all the time you wanted during the second phase to run around and put out fires and stuff without a wave arriving to put them out for you. Also, I screwed this up. I should have cooked those fish and we would have had a 5-point game. Instead, we're going to have less points but more XP than normal. Alright, we gotta go load these. Yeah. It's not enough more XP to be worth giving up the extra points. Oh well. Yeah, 4 points. I'm gonna try a solo game. There's an option to solo start, so you don't actually have to try to find an empty world. Some of these indicators up here tell me how many fish I have, so I don't have to bother trying to count them. Just gonna make this a little bit easier. Otherwise I'd have to count rows in my inventory and figure out about where the fish should be for each number, which ends up being a pain in the butt. Alright. Where's the green spot? There it is. Okay, we want 17. Because exactly how many we have to go load in that cannon to get him down to 1 fish remaining to go down. Okay, let's go. Comes the fire. Dials said fire. Don't want it creating issues for me. Should probably grab a couple more buckets. Okay, we need 18 at least more fish. We need to have at least 1 cooked fish to go in before this hits 93%. really rather go sooner than that. Okay, let's go cook. Don't like these stupid fires. They'll get wiped away next phase, but... we have 12 fish total. Alright, let's go fill water buckets, because we don't have stuff to deal with any of that. And we'll go ahead and down Temperos. So we're going to load all of our fish. We have 12 in there. Or no, we have 11 in there. We need 18 to down him. Ideally, we want to get him to 60%. Okay, we're going to do it. If we get him a little lower than 60%, I'll happily take that as well. Alright, we're going to douse a bunch of fires. That's a ton of free points. I can't just spend all my time dousing fires though, I need to go fish. Okay, let's get this double. How many did I say we're in there? 11? That means I need 6 more. Seven more to actually down him. So we should probably get at least that many. More if I can. Stop disappearing, you stupid fishing spots. I need fish. I don't think we're going to get the number of points we need this time. Okay, damn it, I gotta go get more water. I gotta put these stupid things out. Okay, we need at least 7. Okay, let's cook them. Then we're going to go load 6. This is definitely not efficient. Okay, we don't want to load them all. Specifically, we want to load all but one. Okay. Now, we want to get as many fish as we absolutely positively can. We need to watch the storm intensity like a hawk, because if it goes too high, we need to run. Ideally, we want to get to like 90% before we go. Okay, let's see if we can cook a couple more. Okay, let's go. We're not waiting to 93. Okay, we are going to load as many cooked ones as we have. Alright. So now we're going to go beat the shit out of Temperos. We want to get him as close to 0 as we can without actually hitting 0. Okay, let's go cook. 13% is good enough. We're already at 5,000 points, which is 5 reward permits. So we're already doing better than what we would in mass. Although, whether we're doing better per unit of time versus per game, that's up for interpretation. So I want like 16 of them, and I'm going to go load that. Well, let's go ahead and fill our inventory. Ideally, I want some fires to start. And then we'll go load a whole bunch. And then we'll put as many fires out as we can, and then we'll go load the last one. So I think we loaded one more than we needed last time, which means we need to load 17 this time. Okay, let's go. Before those fires hit. Let's douse that so we don't get burned. Stop. No! I went one too far. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. We would have had a bunch of time to run around and put fires out. As it is, this is what we're getting. Alright, we'll get like 7 points this game, which I don't think is enough. I think you need to get it, I think it's 8 for the CA. I should go check. Yeah, we got Lone Angler, but not White Cook. Well, we did get 8 reward permits, so that's nice. Let's go ahead and fish from the reward pool. If you do that a few more times and refine it a little bit and don't screw it up, then we should hopefully get Y Cook. 1,000 feathers. We need, okay, one more drop of spirit flakes. Cool, we got it. So that means we can turn another item into... Okay, clearly when I was saying I was getting like 100, 200 spirit flakes each time, I was smoking something, because we got 340 there. That or I just rolled really high twice in a row. Alright, give me all those spirit flakes. Let's do the boots next. Okay, we have Spirit Angler boots. which look much cooler than the other boots. Now we just have the really ugly torso and legs left. So the reason I upgraded the headband first is because the angler hat is the actual ugliest piece of clothing in the game. And the reason we're doing the boots next is because the boots are ugly too. And I don't want mismatched main body and legs until later. We'll probably do the torso next. But I don't think it really matters what you do first. Anyway. Let's put away the remaining spirit flakes. It looks like we need 2,200 spirit flakes before we have completed the cosmetic portion of this grind. Alright, let's do another solo. I need to fill my buckets before we set out. So the really sweaty soloers tend to use the spell Humidify to refill buckets. I think I could cast Humidify, but I'd have to go and get it and add a rune pouch to my loadout, and bleh, I don't feel like it. It would be useful to do though. Save a bit of time. Okay, come on, green pool. There you go. Alright, so we want 17. Okay, there's 12. 13, come on, catch doubles. 15. 17, hell yeah. Okay, let's go cook all of those and turn them in. We hopefully will have all these cooked and turned in before the fires start. Or cooked and be turning in before the fires start. Okay, there come the fires. If we run, we can just go right past them. Repair that mast. Douse this fire so it doesn't spread. Okay, and then we'll start downing Temperos. This should get him to 4%. Which means we shouldn't see any more specials out of him this phase. Get a couple more buckets and fill them. Alright, now let's douse as many fires as we can. Douse fires, damn it. Fill buckets. Okay, I need to douse as many of these as I can. Let's go catch from the double thing. I don't think we're gonna... Okay, we gotta go cook at least one. Then we go at 90, or when the last fish cook, aka right then. We load all of these, which means we're going to have 8 loaded extra, which means we need to put in 10 more to down him. Okay, let's go harpoon the pool right now. Okay, so he's 10 away from going down, which means we want to fish 9, cook them, load them as fast as possible, so that we won't get more. Well, we do want fires. We don't want more waves. Or, you know, we want to load exactly 9. Okay. Fill our buckets. It's a lot of fire over there. So we want to fish until the first round of fire arrives. There will be a wave and then fire again. We want the fire. That's where a lot of our points are going to come from, putting those fires out. Damn it. Wave arrives same time as a double. That happens annoyingly often. Okay, let's go... No, let's go catch the double. Then we'll cook. Okay, let's cook 9 of these, and then we're gonna go fill. There's the fire. We'll put these 2 out on the way. We'll leave this one to grow. We better douse this one up here because safety and all that. Okay, we don't want to put in any of the uncooked fish. So pay attention and be ready to click off. Let's fill our buckets. Alright. Now, let's go cook. Or let's go fish. Let those fires spread happily. Okay, there's a double over there. I don't care. I need to cook at least 1 more fish. Ideally more than that. Because once again, we want to load as many fish as we can when the time comes. We're not going to fish that double. Not even going to think about it. Let's put out as many of these fires as we can. aka all of them. And then let's go up here. Let's fill that. No, keep filling, you fool. Okay. Now we go beat the shit out of him, get him as close to 0 as we can without going under. Okay, let's go fish. Actually, fill the buckets. Not sure how many fish I loaded. But that's fine because our objective in this wave is to catch as many fish as we can, cook them all, put out as many fires with the time we have remaining, and get all the fish out into the cannon. Okay, let's go cook. Next time a double pops up, we're going to go grab it if we can. Speaking of which, so the real sweats would tell you to drop all your buckets. We're not doing that. Okay. Damn it, I should have went right after that fire because this fire is going to get wiped out by the wave. Oh well. That's going to cut our points a good bit, unfortunately. Okay, we can load one more at least. Yeah, screw it. We're just going to load them all. We don't have enough time to go catch enough fish to be worth it. Okay, it looks like this is going to be an 8-point game. Which, I can't remember if it's an 8-point or a 7-point or a 10-point that we need for the Y cook. I should actually bother to look. And we will after this. If I don't get it. Okay, there we go, Y cook. So yeah, that was definitely 8. Oh, we got 10 points. Okay, I'm wrong about how the points are calculated then. Because we got 7,800 points and we got 10. Or 7,800 points and we got 10 permits. Okay, hell yeah. Okay, we can stop doing solos now. I am going to look to see how many points it actually was. I think it was 10. Since we got 10. And then I'm going to look to see how they're actually calculated. Because clearly I'm wrong about that. Let's see. Bosses. We should have green logged Temperos. Indeed we did. Or no, green logged the CAs, not his actual drops. Y cook. 10 reward points, okay. Well, it's a good thing it didn't work the way I thought it did then. Okay, Temperos. Rewards. At 2,000 points, you get 1 reward point. 2,700. Okay. It is 700 points per, apparently. Okay. First 2,000 and then 700 every point beyond 2,000. So we got 7,800, which is not actually that good of a chance at getting 10. So we almost got 9, which would have been sad. So the drop we're going after, the Tome of Water, is a 1 in 1,600. Which sucks. Fish Barrel's only a 1 in 400. Tackle Box is a 1 in 400. But I really want the Tome of Water. I don't need it. I can borrow someone else's. Crane has one. I don't think Cream does. I'm not sure why all these pages crashed. I don't feel like refreshing them to find out. Okay. Let's drop those extra 4 buckets. I am going to go ahead and fish from the pool. Because we're not on cycle to go pick up a ship immediately anyway. Okay, this is much more like the amount of spirit flakes I would expect. We were just getting really lucky the last couple times we did pulls. Alright. Back to doing more masses since we've greenlogged it. There's no point doing so. Well, okay, there's a point doing solos. You get more points. Also, I think you get more XP per hour. You definitely get more points. Bah. However, I don't care. "23 players ready to go." That's good enough for me. All right. So you can down Temperos 3 times. The 4th time you down him, or I shouldn't say the 4th time you down him. Okay, damn it, I was paying attention. We fished too many and now we don't have any cooked before the double spot. Efficiency losses, oh no. But anyway, after the 3rd time that you down him, if he gets back up after that 3rd time, he regenerates his energy super fast, and then the storm intensity goes up way fast. Or no, not... Storm intensity just goes up really fast. So, realistically, it's not really possible to go fish and then down him again. It's too fast for that. It's pretty much a guaranteed loss. It is possible if you have... I should be cooking now instead of... Oh wait, no, I should be fishing at this double spot. Anyway, it is possible if you load, like if you're doing solos, if you load at least 6 fish in the 2nd cannon, so you have at least 2 cannons shooting him, to just barely down him a 2nd time. But it's not a good idea. It does get you a few more points. Because obviously you get however many fish, you get a whole another 18 fish loaded. Or at least you darn well better have. But, yeah. Trying to 4 or 5 down Temperos is a level of sweaty that is definitely not worth considering. At least in my opinion. It's like I play this game to have fun. I don't play it to sweat my ass off. Alright, we only got one load of fish in before Temperos went down. Ideally, I would get a load of fish and then another half load fished up. But inefficiencies. Also, I didn't check, but there may have been more than one cannon per side firing during some of that, and that speeds it up a good bit. I really wish people would realize that there's a happy medium between fast games and large amounts of XP and permits per game. And that if your game is faster than a certain speed, it just makes it worse. Because then you don't get as many fish loaded. And since loading fish is where nearly all of the XP and points come in, it's just not a good idea to try to go too fast. Yeah, like over here they got 2 cannons firing. That just, it makes it go faster for no gain. Because if you're edging the storm intensity every time, that gives you more time to get fish, more time to get points. It's just all around better. Let's go cook and wait for another double. It is second phase, but like there's being sweaty, and then there's just being sensibly efficient. And also I should have went up earlier because it's already probably too late to load all these. Oh well. Need about 40% energy remaining to load the entire inventory into the crate. This will be a 3 or 4 point game. Probably 4. It looks like we're gonna load them all, okay. We'll probably miss like 1 hit on the spirit pool. According to the XP tracker, we have about 20 more minutes of this before we get another level. Okay, yep, 4 point game. And that was 50 KC. Alright. We take those. Obviously I prefer 5 point games, but I'll take 4 point games all day long. Okay. So in the sailing beta, you could sail right up to this place, but there was a large storm around it that damaged your boat. So while you could, you probably shouldn't. There was one of the, not sure what you want to call them, boat time trials, I guess. There were. That was set in this area. let's go grab one more fish. Of course, it's gonna take forever to catch one stupid fish. There we go. Now we cook them all. So the reason why we seem to be able to get so much more done during the first phase than in the second phase is because Temperos slowly builds his energy up to 100% during the first phase and doesn't even surface immediately. So you have extra time during the first phase to run around and get stuff done than you do during subsequent phases. Means if you're struggling during the first phase to get enough done, you're not going to have a good time during the later ones. Like we have 30% energy and we've filled, cooked, and dumped an entire inventory full. Okay, come on, please roll a bunch of doubles. Alright, that's not too bad. We have half an inventory full of uncooked at the end of phase 1. We'll probably end up with about half an inventory of cooked and the rest uncooked by the end of phase 2. Dumped. And then obviously, since it's a mass world, will be done by phase 2. Hopefully we'll get to 64, maybe 65 fishing today. Let's go cook, because we're going to have time to do that. We'll keep an eye out for a double spot. Yeah, see, the second phase, it starts immediately. Not only does it start immediately at 100% and start ticking down, instead of starting at 0 and ticking up, but he also starts taking damage immediately because of preloaded fish. So the second phase is way faster. Which is why if you're doing small teams, you want to preload exactly the right number of fish. I've done duos with crane before. Duos aren't terribly efficient, but they're less boring than solo. Okay, let's go load. Stop loading too, you dumbasses. Oh well. Even if you ask them politely to please stop loading 2 cannons in chat, they're probably don't have enough brain cells to rub together to get it. Okay. After all, the wiki's page on Temperos specifically tells you not to do that. Which, I mean, I didn't need the wiki to tell me that. I knew that before I read that in the wiki. But it's not like it's unknown that you shouldn't be loading 2 cannons. It's a well-known bit of information. 5 reward permits. Nice. We take those. Let's do another game before we pull. I would really like to get out of here quickly. Ideally, we get the Tome of Waters soon, which I'm not sure how many reward pulls I've actually done. We're nowhere close to on rate. Would it be in the loot tracker? Yes, it is. Got 196 pulls. So we're not even a tenth. Well, we're a little over a tenth of the way to rate because 1600, 1 in 1600. I'm gonna have Spirit Angler long before we hit rate for the Blue Book of Wonders. Which means I'll probably never get the Blue Book unless I do way more Temperos than I ever want to do. Thankfully, while I do need to do Temperos on the UIM to get Spirit Angler if nothing else, I don't actually want most of the rewards from Temperos, except Spirit Angler. I don't want the Tome of Water, because I already have the Tome of Fire, and I can't store the Tome of Water. And water runes are just not as useful as fire runes. I don't want the fish barrel, really. If I get the fish barrel, there's a way to make it storable, but it sucks. I don't want to do that grind if I don't have to. So I'm perfectly happy not seeing the fish barrel ever. The tackle box. There's no reason to carry fishing gear around in your inventory all the time. So the tackle box is useless. And I would end up dropping it if I did get it. So honestly, the only thing I would actually want to see as far as rare-ish rewards is the Dragon Harpoon. And that's absurdly rare from here. It's the same rate as the pet. Overall, there are much better places to grind out a Dragon Harpoon. It's like getting a Dragon Axe from Wintertot. It's nice if it happens, but you do not want to park yourself there and actively grind it out. It's not quite that rare, but then it's a lot easier to get Wintertot rewards than it is to get Temperos rewards. Ugh. So I believe Wintertodt is like a 1 in 10k. And Temperos is like a 1 in 8k for their respective dragon tool. Neither of them is ideal. Anyway. Yeah, let's go cook. Let's go cook until a green spot pops up, which should happen very soon. Okay. Somewhat surprisingly, the wave arrived, no green spot. Okay, there it is. Go get it. Anyway. Move! That poor fool didn't make it. Alright, we need to go load. I'm gonna get one more fish. Okay, let me go. It'd be much easier to make sure we got them all in before the end. If it wasn't for some dumbass loading 2 cannons. Actually, it looks like 2 dumbasses. So I'm glad this cannon got shocked because that made him stop. However, it's not helping over on that side. Everyone who loads 2 cannons per side at Temperos and Temperos masses needs to go extremely dry for all the uniques as well-deserved punishment. Actually, no, it's probably a bad thing because if they go very dry, that means they're here longer, and then other people have to suffer. Anyway, let's go fish from the pool. We got 13 poles. We're off to a strong start. Seaweed, aka totally worthless crap. And we're definitely paying for spooning all those spirit flakes earlier. Okay, drop the seaweed. We got 3 caskets, which is... okay. Tooth half of the key, a whole bunch of uncut jades. Not terribly amazing. Do I have a loop half? I do have a loop half, but I also have 5 tooth halves, so... yeah, I didn't need more tooth halves. Thank you, game. Oh well. I don't know why, but I just keep getting tooth halves. It's definitely not ideal. It's much better if you get 50-50 of each. I wouldn't be surprised if we hit 63 fishing on this trip. And then we're only 2 levels away from Karambwans. And then I'll finally be able to catch my own Karambwans. And that'll solve my food problems for a good long while. Kind of surprised how high his energy is at this point. There must not be many people who are doing no cooking methods. Because you get the same amount of XP if you cook them or if you don't cook them. More or less. You just don't get as many points. So if you're actually just after XP, then it pays pretty strongly to just not cook. Particularly if you're being efficient, you can get like a whole other inventory in. Although usually most no cooking methods, they still they'll still cook some. Oh, there we go. 63 fishing. I could use a fishing boost to go fish Karambwans. But that's another thing I'd have to pay attention to. And it would take up inventory space, and yeah. I'd probably make fishing potions. Don't remember what herbs used to make them though. I do know it takes Renar weed, which is annoying to get. Avantoe and snapegrass, or not Renar weed, sapegrass. Avantoe and snapegrass. I don't think I want to waste my Avantoe on that, because you could use them to make super energy potion, which is much better. But then it is, if I just made a few, it would, I don't remember how much a fishing potion gives you. Depends on how far a couple potions got you. If they give like a +4 boost, then it would probably be worth it, because each sip of potion would give you a couple of minutes of fishing time before your boost fell too low. But then a couple of minutes really isn't that much time for Karambwans. Because the reason Karambwans are good is that they're a high healing fish. They're a combo food, which means you can eat them at the same tick as different food if you do it in the right order. And the fishing spot for them never moves. You just click it once and stay there until your inventory is full. But anyway. Alright, let's go load. Made it through the fire without getting burned. Okay. There's all our fish. Let's go down and refill our buckets at the water pump on the dock. Okay. So according to this, we will get 64 in about an hour. That was a 4-point game. Yeah, about 57 minutes, it says. Okay. Go fish. So I really want carambons. I would like shark, but I really want carambons. So I have a source of food, so I don't have to go spend as much time and money getting food for endless failures of the Sins of the Father boss. And other bosses I need to do. And then I'd like to do a whole bunch of Scurius, maybe some Amoxolotl, and other low-level bosses to attempt to make some money, get some alchables and stuff, so that I can do construction. My construction skills pitiful. And the reason I want construction, other than the obvious I can build a better POH, is so that I can be better equipped for starting sailing on this account. Because you're going to need construction skill to build boats and stuff. Okay, I need one more fish. Anyway. And I should probably get smithing too, which smithing doesn't require as much money. At least not the methods I'm likely to use. But it does require some money. Because you also need smithing to make boat parts. And crafting, I don't really need that badly. That's an okay place for now, TM. But if I can get smithing and construction up, that'll be a huge help. Like, I also need those skills to be up for just general use. Smithing's not that useful. But construction is immense on an Iron Man. And it's not really that expensive. I just need a few million. And I should be able to get to like... I'd like to get to 85. The same as my UIM. Because that gets me high enough level that I can build pretty much everything in my house that I'd want to build. And then with an easy boosting range of everything else I'd want to build. The supplies for Ornate Jewelry Box are available. I think Cream has a bunch of extra Dragonstones. So I won't have to do the Dragonstone grind like I did from the UIM. But obviously I'll still need to make everything and well, technically I wouldn't have to go make everything. I'd be able to make most of the jewelry myself. I would need the higher crafting level to make the Amulets of Glory. Which I probably should get. Purely because high crafting level is good and useful. But also it's not an incredible priority. But anyway. Like, technically, I don't even need to get my construction level up and build a proper house. Because as long as someone else in the game is online, which currently nobody is. But if someone else in the game is online, then I could just go use their house. But like, no thanks. I want my own house with all of my own stuff in it. I already have a bunch of teleports. Not quite as many teleports as I'm going to put in there in the end, but... I think I want one more, maybe two more rooms of teleports. Probably just one more. Maybe you'll get 5 more attack levels, probably at Scurious. So I can use Arclight once I am able to make it. I'll probably get that while I'm grinding out the money. Like, Scurious is not an amazing money maker, but it's an easy one, and it's good combat training. I definitely would never recommend it for serious money making, but... I need to do more thieving. Gotta get that thieving level up. That's not a great moneymaker either, but it is a moneymaker. I made a lot of my mid-game money on the UIM that way. Just got such low requirement. But anyway. That poor fool. Wasn't paying attention and probably lost all of his fish. He just stood there in the fire. Okay. This game's either going a lot slower than normal or we're going way faster. I think I know which one it is. Name of the game is going slower. We didn't have as many people who were doing no cooking methods. So got off to a slow start. Okay, watch the fire. And move! Does mean it's going to be probably a 5-point game without too much trouble. Okay, I've got over half an inventory of raw fish for the start of phase 2. That's solid progress. Anyway. Construction's a major priority. Purely because I want to get every single teleport in my house that I can possibly get. And I want the ability to make house teleport tabs. Ideally, I want to rush Soat, move my house to Prif, and then get an Eternal Teleport Crystal instead. Don't remember what all requirements I have left on Soap. '70 construction, which, okay, construction's already a priority. 70 farming. It's not really that big of a deal. $70 herb lore. We're already 65, so that's not actually that far off anymore. 70 hunter, which we're only 55 hunter, but hunter's not that hard to grind out. And 70 smithing, which is probably one of the biggest remaining skills. But that's just like a few hours of making big sword at Giant's Foundry. '70s aren't particularly hard to get. '70 herb lore is the big one, but since we're already 65, particularly if we can finish Sins of the Father, that'll get us a good chunk of the way there. The Sins of the Father gives a pretty large reward that can be put into herb lore. Darn, only 4 permits. So yeah, I'm not too far off being able to... let's go ahead and... We have 12 permits total. Let's go ahead and pull them. Soaked pages. Good amount of spirit flakes. These oak planks and standard planks, I could use them to do mahogany homes, which would be a very cheap way to get construction XP, but also that sounds like ass. The amount of construction XP you get from that is not that great. I should do it anyway, just because. But actually, I wonder. Okay, repairing cranes gives the involved players 4 times their crafting level and 4 times their construction level as XP of those skills. Requires a hammer, 3 planks of the same type, and at least 9 nails of any type. Nails will bend easily. Okay. Nails made out of a high-tier material will not perform any better than bronze nails. So in other words, you just want a lot of nails. Doesn't matter what kind. So... it would actually make sense probably to use up all of my crap level planks repairing cranes, because it doesn't matter what kind of plank you use. There just has to be 3 of the same kind. And then of course you'd use bronze nails, which you can get relatively cheaply from a sawmill. Okay. And this rewards crafting and construction XP. And if I remember correctly, it's not actually that bad of a method. Like, I don't think it's the best method, but it's not that bad. Also, there's some mechanics that make it just work better if other people are working on it as well. Which means, ideally, a whole bunch of people would get together and all go repair cranes. I don't think there's anyone who actually bothers with that. What kind of banks are close to where those cranes are? Okay, there's a bank here. The cranes are down here, mostly. It's not that far to run. You'd run, grab planks, run back down, just keep all the nails in your inventory the whole time. Okay. That's probably, I don't know if it would be more efficient than low-level mahogany homes, but I mean, it couldn't be any worse. And would require a lot less teleporting around and generally wasting your time. Because mahogany homes is... It's not bad when you're doing at least teak. Or if you're low level doing oak. But doing it with standard is just a pain in the butt. Anyway, that's probably what I'll end up doing with those planks eventually. And since I'm getting all the planks here for free, and I'm not going to use them for anything else. Yeah. Also, I wouldn't have to go get a bunch of steel bars and then waste them on... I should go do some blast furnace to make steel bars. Get a few thousand of them. Because I'm going to need a bunch for mahogany homes later. Oh well. Let's go do another round. I don't know what the actual XP rates per hour is for cranes, but... I think it's the meta for certain kinds of account. Okay, come on, green spot. Really appreciate if you got more doubles. Oh well. Yeah, we're definitely not getting 64 tonight yet. After all, your XP per hour doesn't go up if you're standing on the dock talking. Okay. So Song of the Elves is extremely useful. So I'm probably only going to do construction to level 70 and then stop. And then come back after I finish Soat and go from 70 to 85. That's not what I did in the UAM. But like, the UAM didn't do everything perfectly efficiently either. Definitely would have been better if I had not gone straight to 85. But I really wanted to have the ornate jewelry box. You need 83 at least for that. And if you get 2 more levels, then you never have to worry about construction again until you're going to 99. Or 99. So a lot of people only go to 83 and then stop, because that gets them their ornate jewelry box. And then later, when they're feeling flush with cash, they'll go the rest of the way to 85 or whatever and get the what do I call it? The portal. The fancy portal thing. Because there's no real reason you need to level for that right away. Because you can build the lower level versions of the portal. And those are perfectly fine, they just don't hold as many teleports. And by the time you have the cash to fill in the rest of the teleports anyway, you can just grind out the last couple levels you need and boost for it. So it's not really a big deal. However, it's just a couple of levels, so you might as well go the whole way. And of course the 99 construction cape is amazing. So it's worth going for that eventually. It's like most 99 capes aren't that great. Their bonus is mediocre at best. But 99 construction gets you teleports to all house portals, whether you have your house there or not, and to your house. So you just have an infinite house teleport right there in your inventory. Wearable one. And you can go to a bunch of other interesting places without having to move your house. So you can put your house wherever it's most convenient and then just teleport to a whole bunch of interesting and useful places. But grinding out 99 construction, even if done relatively money efficiently, is not cheap. So I think getting to 85 on the UIM took, probably somewhere between 3 to 5 million. And 85 is a quarter of the way to 99. That was only a 3-point game. Really? I guess. Oh well. I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of temperossed out. Somebody dropped a tome of water, it looks like. I'm gonna go pull my 3 reward poles. And then I think I'm done with Temperos for the night. Sure would be nice to get a book in the last bowl. Nope. Not gonna happen. We gotta get some Spirit Flakes though. We take those. So I'm up to 560 Spirit Flakes. We're almost halfway to another piece done. So it actually isn't going to take that long to grind out full Spirit Angler. Grinding out the Tome of Water is going to take far longer unless I get absolutely spooned on it. But really, Tome of Water and Full Spirit Angler are the last 2 things I want from here. And Tome of Water is more of a... It'd be really nice to have because then I won't have to bother Crane every time I want to use it kind of item. But really there's only like a couple of things I'd want Tome of Water for. Certain PVM where I have to use water spells, it'd be helpful. And then, what are you gonna call it? Mage Training Arena. But even then, it's only useful for casting level 5 enchant. A Tome of Earth would be equally good for that. Or a Mud Battle Staff, if I could get one, would be perfect for that. For level 6 enchant, which you unlock at 87 magic, which is ideally what you'd want to use. For that, you need a Tome of Fire or a Tome of Earth anyway. Ideally Tome of Fire. And you just use Tome of Fire plus Earth Staff and you can make tons of magic XP. So the Tome of Water is just a nice to have. It's not a super important. Oh well. It is 10:26. I believe that is late enough. I believe we will call it here. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do tomorrow. I should do more RuneScape. Preferably not Temperos. I don't want to do more Temperos. But also I need to do more Temperos. Ideally, we would go do the Sons of the Father boss instead. Which is what I should have did today, but I didn't feel like it, so we didn't. Instead, we went fishing instead. Which, just like real life, in-game fishing sucks. Anyway. We'll see. Thursday will be more prototype, which I am quite looking forward to. Friday will be EDF. I haven't heard anything that would indicate otherwise. And then Saturday and Sunday should be more Far Cry 4. But anyway. For tonight, though, let's see. Who's streaming watch? Abby's playing more Terrible Obsidian RPGs. Yick. And that looks like it's it. Alright. Blah. I don't want to watch The Outer World. Let's not do that. I don't think we're going to raid anybody tonight. I guess if you want to watch The Outer Worlds 2 or whatever in the hell it is. Avacern. But hopefully you all have an awesome night, and I will see you all later. Good night, and goodbye.